Hi there, thank you for joining me for another Dear Sam Horse Help Horsemanship series. This week I just wanted to talk real quickly about assessing or reassessing your tack and equipment. There's the safety aspect where if you've had a certain piece of equipment over a long period of time or it's been exposed to the elements, you always want to make sure you go through and do a safety check as far as if stitching is okay, as far as if leather's getting stretched or worn, if elastic is getting overstretched or used, if all buckles are working correctly. Sometimes people kind of let things go, and then the day, where the unexpected event comes up or something happens and the tack breaks, we wind up in a unwanted or undesired scenario. So really make sure you check your equipment, especially if it's been sitting for a while or it's stored in a different place than normal. Just double check, to make sure that nothing's breaking. But the other aspect is reassessing the tack fit for your horse. So depending on the season and what kind of shape your horse is in, how much riding is being done, and also as horses begin to age, we need to consistently reassess, is the tack that we're using, first of all, appropriate? And second of all, is it fitting the horse correctly? And, this is one of those things where often people, especially when they buy a horse, and I'll ask, okay, so why are you using the equipment you've chosen to use? And they say, well, it just came with the horse because that's what the owner before me used. So sometimes we don't always know why we're using maybe a certain type of bit or certain types of reins. And we perhaps need to step back and assess, one, does the equipment fit the horse? But two, is it effective? And three, do you know how to use whatever it is that you're incorporating in your horsemanship? And these are things that sometimes people just kind of go through the motions and they don't realize how much of a detriment either to their own riding abilities and skills it can limit or prohibit if tack doesn't fit the human, never mind the horse, well, but also the way in which aids are being communicated if the person is unclear on what and why and how they are doing things. And then if they do have, perhaps a harsher, more severe bit, they can be creating all kinds of damage and defensiveness in the horse without even realizing that they're doing so. So if you don't have the experience to be able to assess if things are fitting your horse correctly, you can always seek professional help of a trainer, of, a saddle fitter, all kinds of things to keep checking in every so often and making sure that you don't want your tack and equipment to be causing pain to your horse. So many horses that I meet that come in for behavioral issues, 99% of them are starting with pain issues. And of that 99%, about 85% comes from ill-fitting equipment. So it's a really big thing that unfortunately not enough people discuss. And they don't have the eye to recognize perhaps the initial signs of the horse who's perhaps experiencing some fear but still tolerating ill-fitting equipment. One of the big ones I see is horses who are constantly stepping away as the owner's going to lift and place the saddle on them. Horses that throw their head up in the air trying to avoid being bridled. A lot of times will have dental issues, or perhaps it's anticipation to the discomfort during the upcoming ride. There's a lot of little indicators in the horse's resistance during tacking up that can reflect potential pain factors that might be going on that you may not recognize. So just be sure to reassess, especially also with older horses as their body changes, that just because the saddle fit 10 years ago doesn't mean that it's going to fit now, and that perhaps some adjustments need to be made so that we can get your horse as comfortable as possible. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.